It was being rumored, not confirmed at the time of this recording, that Diego Lopez wants to go up against Alexander Volkanovski, man. Saying along the lines, let's just do it. It's been floating around the MMA space, and I'm just gonna sit here and tell y'all, Diego Lopez is delusional if he thinks he beats Volkanovski right now or in the next year, honestly. Okay? What is up with everyone saying Volkanovski is washed? Okay, I know I made a video a couple of days ago saying that Volkanovski shouldn't fight Ilya Taporia. I'd have to go back and watch that video and make sure I didn't say the words washed or anything when I was describing Alexander Volkanovski, because that is further away from the truth. Okay, this man took two L's from Islam Makhachev, the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world right now, and he just lost to the hardest hitting featherweight we have ever seen in Ilya Taporia after coming out of a knockout against Islam Makhachev on short notice. Okay? And before Alexander got knocked out by Ilya, he was looking good. He was looking sharp. Like, I don't understand where everyone's coming from that Alexander Volkanovski is just on this rapid downfall. I'm looking at the comments when I'm looking at the comments pertaining to Diego Lopez and Alexander Volkanovski. Everybody in the comments saying, why is Volk doing this? Why can't Volk just sit at home? Volk's going to get chinned. Volk's this, that, and the third. Listen, guys, Diego Lopez is a cool fighter. I love the guy. He's awesome. You know, he could definitely be a champion in the future. In feather, or move up to lightweight, or I can see him at welterweight. He's one of those guys that can bounce around in weight classes. But who has he beaten in the past in his past whatever bouts? Who has he beaten to make you even think he could stand with Volkanovski? Let alone in a 5-round fight, guys. Okay? In a 5-round fight. This man Diego Lopez beat a body bag, a punching bag in Brian Ortega. Okay, who hasn't beat Brian Ortega at this point? All right. Yeah, he got that. Brian Ortega got that win over Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez made a mistake, and he got caught. If Yair Rodriguez was really on his A game, he could have pieced apart Brian Ortega that from round 1 to 3, or however many rounds that fight was. I can't remember right now. But hey, no excuses. Ortega got that dub, and again, Ortega's in the UFC, so I'm not saying he's some bum. I'm just saying when he comes to top level competition, Ortega been getting pieced up by the top dudes. Okay, he got beat by Max. He got embarrassed by Max. He got beat by Volk. He even had Volk in a guillotine, and Volk was in that locked in a guillotine for I don't know how long, and Ortega wasn't able to choke him out. Okay. So that's who Diego Lopez beat, Brian Ortega. He beat Dan Ige on short notice. And I believe Dan Ige went all 3 rounds in that fight, if I'm mistaken. 1 second, guys. Let me actually look that up. Because I don't want to lie. I don't want to be too incorrect in my videos before I have some hater in the comments down below talking shit. Yeah, bro, it was a catchweight bout on 7 days short notice, I believe. And Dan Ige went 3 rounds with Diego Lopez, who had I believe a full training camp leading up to fighting with Ortega. Like, come on, guys. We got to stop hyping up this man just because he's a cool looking dude. He has the cool, wacky haircut, and he's a contender on the rise right now in a division that has honestly been kind of boring the past couple of years. Now it's starting to pick up a little bit because it's becoming more stacked with names like with names like Aljamain and Evolov and other guys flooding into that weight division. Ilya Taporia, Bryce Mitchell. We're getting some some cool contenders in there. Nobody really that's putting up a claim to fight Ilya right now, if I'm being honest. I think Ilya should just go up and fight Islam. Or, I mean, I did say that Diego Lopez, I will admit, I did say Diego Lopez could fight Ilya Taporia. And the UFC really wanted to do that, but he's not beating Ilya Taporia. It would just be a filler fight. It'd just be a fight because nobody else in the division deserves it. Let's be honest. That's the only reason I said in that original video where I said Volkanovski shouldn't fight Ilya Taporia. I said in that video that Ilya should fight Diego Lopez. I'm actually going to take back what I said, because I do believe that Diego Lopez needs to fight the winner of Aljamain Sterling and Evolov, okay? He doesn't deserve a title fight right now. And let's just look at the guys that that Diego Lopez beat. Like I said, he beat a body bag in Brian Ortega. He beat Dan Ige. He beat Sadiq Yusuf. And he beat Gavin Tucker. And he beat Pat Sabini. I can't pronounce that name. I'm not even going to try to. Okay? Listen, dude. None of those names on there even come close to making me believe that this guy has the chance to go up against Alexander Volkanovski. Okay? The guy that beat Max Holloway 3 times, let alone the second fight. Personally, I thought Max Holloway won the second fight, but it doesn't matter. Volkanovski got the judges nod, so Volk won. Like, even after Volk lost the first fight to Islam, he went back down to featherweight and dismantled Yair Rodriguez. Okay? Let's stop sitting here and just acting like Volkanovski is not still one of the greatest in the UFC right now. If he just didn't have these last 2 L's and he was just not active after but that doesn't really make that much sense. He'd have to be active and defend his belt against Ilya. If he never went in and fought Islam Makhachev on short notice and instead just waited and fought Ilya, he probably still would have lost. But his legacy wouldn't be as disrespected as it is right now. His name wouldn't be as disrespected as it is right now, guys. Like, we have to really remember who we're talking about here. Alexander Volkanovski will put a beat down on Diego Lopez for 5 rounds, and it will be beautiful. It'll be funny. Like, we're not gonna sit here and act like Diego Lopez didn't lose his debut against Evolov, who's about to go up against Aljamain Sterling, and Aljamain Sterling's gonna backpack him and beat him. Okay, Diego Lopez is just had a really lucky career so far, guys. And I say lucky, not like that he doesn't have skill, but just lucky at who he's been matched up against, guys. He's lucky at who he's been matched up against, guys. And if this is true that he fights Alexander Volkanovski, they're even talking about throwing the interim belt in the mix. If they're throwing the interim belt in the mix, then I definitely think that means Ilya is going to go up and fight Islam in the meantime. If the fight's for the interim belt, then, which I don't think should be the case, this should be the #1 contender fight. But if it is for the interim belt, like, what are we talking about here, man? You really think Diego Lopez is beating Volkanovski, guys? Volk. Come on, dude. Come on, man. I just wanted to get on here and give my opinion on this. Hopefully this fight doesn't happen. I don't think it should happen, honestly. I think Diego Lopez should fight the winner of Aljamain Sterling and Evolov, and then Ilya Topuria should go up and fight Islam, and then go back down, win or lose, and defend the belt against whoever wins between Diego Lopez and Aljamain Sterling, because I think Aljamain Sterling is going to beat Evolov. Okay, guys? And that's that, man. That's that. We gotta, before I get out of here, man, we gotta stop disrespecting Alexander Volkanovski, okay? Ilya Topuria knocked him out and then proceeded to knock out the best chin in the UFC, Max Holloway. So we got to cut Alexander some slack and just realize that Ilya is just different. Ilya is just the up-and-coming star in that division who would have beat Alexander Volkanovski even if he never fought Islam, guys. Okay? But this Diego Lopez beating Alexander Volkanovski, it's blasphemy, man. It's tartar sauce, okay? It's tartar sauce, bro. It's fucking tartar sauce. And we gotta stop with this bullshit, man. We got to stop with this bullshit. The UFC is in a crazy place right now where it's so funky. Names are popping up that haven't been doing, it's like we're in a weird position where, like, we're seeing the transition from the new gen taking over the old gen, okay? And it just makes people forget things. Like, recency bias is crazy, guys. It's crazy, man. But look, I'm actually going to get out of here this time. I'm not going to hold y'all any much longer, man. Volkanovski pieces of Diego Lopez. Probably doesn't knock him out, but beats him up to a decision. Simple as that. Hopefully we don't get that fight. If we do, bet on Volk. Unanimous decision. Get your money. All right. Peace.